Alright, welcome to another Boulevard of Paper Fight YouTube video, and today I am unboxing the new Marvel Champions Thor Hero Pack. Super excited for this one. I love the hero packs, and let's just see what's inside. Boom. Alright, so let's see if there's any instructions with this one. Alright, what does it say? So it comes with a pretty nifty little poster insert of, looks like Thor about to smash a rock on top of Loki's head. So that's not very much brotherly love if you ask me. And the Thor Hero Pack, does it say anything crazy? So it comes with a pre-built deck, obviously, it says that, as well as some extra cards that can be used for other custom decks, which is the main reason why I like these hero packs. A little bit of info on Thor aggression. Thor loves the thrill of fight and is always excited to smash through hordes of enemies, using Mythic Mjolnir to boost Thor's attack power and mow down minions or blast through the mightiest of foes with a forceful hammer throw. If the pressure of combat becomes overwhelming, call down a supercharged lightning strike to clear the area. With the aggression aspect, equip Thor with the legendary Yarnborn, then crush enemies with a powerful mean swing, and once the battle is over and the dust has settled, brag of Thor's greatest achievements at the Hall of Heroes. It's a fun little flavor insert there. So that's what comes with this pack. And now let's actually get into the hero deck itself. So here we are. A bunch of new cards. There's Thor. Let's crack this open. Yeah, this is probably, Doctor Strange is the one I'm the most excited for. Who knows when we're gonna get that now because of the shipping delays with everything that's going on in the world. But here we are, we have Thor. And it has a have at the response. After you engage a minion, draw 2 cards, hand size of 4. And then the Odin Son has a recovery of 4, hit points of 14, hand size of 5, worthy, action, search your deck and discard pile for Mjolnir, upgrade and add it to your hand, shuffle your deck, limits once per round. So basically, no matter what you're doing, you're shuffling your deck after you search your discard or your actual deck for it. You must shuffle your deck afterwards because that's its own text line. And so you got to keep that in mind if you're putting, I don't know if this deck has that or if there's other cards where you can put stuff back on top of your deck, but that's just something to keep in mind for obvious reasons. So there's Thor. Comes with Lady Sith, which has a 2 thwart, 2 attack, and 3 health. Response after Lady Sith enters play, ready Thor Odin Son. That's pretty sweet. And then we have Defender of the 9 Realms. It's a hero action of Thor. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until you discard a minion. Put that minion into play engaged with you. Remove 3 threat from a scheme. That's kind of interesting. And there's 3 of those. I like that. And then we have For Asgard. It's a 1-cost hero action. Alter ego action. And it says search your deck and discard pile with the Asgard trait for a card with the Asgard trait and add it to your hand. Shuffle your deck. That's cool. Then we got Hammer Throw, 3 power event, hero action, exhaust Mjolnir, deal 8 damage to an enemy and return Mjolnir to your hand. This attack gains overkill. Whoo! 8 damage overkill, and there's 3 of those. That's pretty sick. Hit a minion and then basically have it spill over. That's super awesome. Then we got Lightning Strike. Spend X energy resources, deal X damage to the villain and each minion engaged with you. This attack ignores tough status cards if you have the aerial trait. So there's 2 Lightning Strikes. That's pretty cool. Then we got Support. We have Asgard. You get +1 hand size. That's really good. And it has some fun flavor text that says, it is from the shining city of Asgard that Odin watches over the 9 realms, and it was here that Thor was raised a prince. Next we have God of Thunder. Exhaust God of Thunder. Generate a lightning energy source, or an energy. I can't remember how that's exactly pronounced or described. And then we have Mjolnir. Max 2 restricted cards per player, and this is a restricted card. Okay. Thor gets +1 attack and gains aerial trait. That's pretty awesome. Then we have the Thor's helmet, and you get +5 hit points. Whoa, that actually is pretty huge. So your hit points are 14, so that goes you up to 19 hit points. That's pretty cool. I like that. 2 energy, that's good. And then now we go on to the aggression side of things. So we have heroes under aggression. We have Hercules, +1 thwart, +3 attack. Reduce the cost to play Hercules by 1 for each minion engaged with you. That's pretty cool. Well, 6. I mean, this card could end up being a dead card a lot of time, I think. I don't know if that's really going to be worth it, and I think it's very situational for the encounter deck you're playing against. Obviously, things like Ultron and the Green Goblin, this could be very powerful, but in others, I think this could be actually not worth putting into your deck. Valkyrie has a 3 cost, +2 attack, +1 thwart, 3 damage potential, and response. After Valkyrie enters play, deal 2 damage to a minion, 3 damage instead if you pay for this card using a energy resource. That is pretty awesome. So that's a nice little way. And then we got some more Chase Them Down. And then we got new cards called Get Over here. Hero action, deal 1 damage to a minion if you have the aerial trait, engage that enemy. That's pretty cool. So you deal 1 damage to a minion and then engage it. So I guess that's a way of like really engage that enemy. Does that mean you just like literally attack it right away? I guess it does. That's pretty sweet. So you got 3 of those. Then we have Mean Swing. It's a hero interrupt. When your hero makes a basic attack, exhaust a weapon upgrade on your hero. Your hero gets +3 attack for this attack. That's interesting. You get 3 of those. Some more Power of Aggressions. And then we have the Hall of Heroes. Response: after you defeat a minion, place 1 glory counter here. Exhaust Hall of Heroes and remove 3 glory counters from it. Draw 3 cards. That's pretty good. So it's after you defeat a minion. So this is definitely based on going up against a minion heavy deck. Very interesting. Battle Fury. Play under any player's control, max 1 per player. Response: after your hero attacks and defeats a minion, deal 1 damage to your hero and discard Battle Fury. Ready your hero. Interesting. So you get 2 attacks. That's pretty cool. All right. Next up we have Yarnbjorn, the axe. That is fashioned by Groot's tree in the movies, right? If I'm not mistaken. And this is also a restricted, and there's max 2 restricted cards. Response: after your hero attacks an enemy, spend a aggression or a physical resource, deal 2 damage to an enemy. So any enemy. That's pretty cool. Then we have Heimdall as another ally in the basic pool. He has 2 thwart, 3 attack, but with 2 damage to him. After Heimdall enters play, look at the top 3 cards of the encounter deck, discard 1 of them, and put the others back in any order. So you can kind of choose and stack how things go. That's pretty awesome. Then we have Invulnerability, hero action. Give your hero a tough status card. That's pretty cool. And you get 3 of those. Then we got some more resources. Another Avengers Mansion, which is great because I'm looking to stack some of those in some decks for certain builds. Okay, and now that's basically what they plan for to be the Thor deck right there. And now we have the obligation card to go into the encounter set, and it is Odin's Anger. You may flip to alter ego form, choose exhaust Odin's Son, remove Odin's Anger from the game, or discard Mjolnir from your hand or from play. You are stunned, discard this obligation. So that's interesting. And then we have Family Feud, the Loki side scheme. When revealed, place one additional threat here for each Asgard card in play. Whoa, that could stack really nicely. Present a problem. And then we have this cool Loki art here. I like this. 2 scheme, 2 attack, 4 damage, interrupt. When Loki would be defeated, discard the top card of the encounter deck. If that card is a treachery, heal all damage from Loki instead. Wow, that's pretty cool. Then we have a Frost Giant. 1 scheme, 3 attack, 4 health, toughness. It has a boost if the villain is attacking and this attack deals damage to a character. Stun that character. That's pretty cool. And we've got a couple Frost Giants. Then we have Trickster. It says, discard the top 3 cards of your deck. Place 1 threat on the main scheme for each different card discarded this way. Ooh, that's pretty good. All right, now it says stop because that's Thor's deck right here. Now we're on to the extra cards that we have to just add to the builds, and this is my favorite part of the hero packs. So we have Under Surveillance. This says, attached to the main scheme, max 1 per scheme. Increase the target threat value of attached scheme by 4. That means you get an extra 4 that needs to be done before it actually pops. So that's pretty awesome. I really like that. We got Event Teamwork. Hero Interrupt. When you use your basic thwart power or basic attack power, exhaust an ally you control, add that ally's matching power to your hero's power for this use. So essentially you get to add the effect of attacking with an ally without actually adding the damage that comes on most allies. So I really, really like that. I think that is really awesome. Excited to do some builds with that. And we got Second Wind, which has a picture of Miss Marvel here going off. It says, action, heal 4 damage from an identity. 5 damage instead if you paid for this card using a science resource. So heal 4 damage from an identity. I guess that means do you have to be an alter ego for that to happen? What does it say? Or is identity just anything? I guess it doesn't matter. I guess it's one of your I don't know about that one. That's something actually I'm not really sure about, so I'll look more into that and put something in the notes about it. But again, still really good to just have an action that heals 4 damage. The 3 cost is maybe a little bit high. We'll have to see how that shakes up as in play testing. And then we have Enhanced Physique, which is great. Exhaust Enhanced Physique and remove 1 physical counter from it. Generate a physical resource. So those are again just some resources for the physical traits. Really awesome. I'm super excited for this deck. It's really cool. I just want to count the Asgard cards. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's like 8 Asgard things in this. 9 Asgard things. 10. There's 10 Asgard things that can trigger this. So you essentially have 10 extra threat plays here, which would be hilarious if you had them all out. So that's the one thing. This deck is really interesting. I think it provides a very unique deck that can be built with something that's very different from the other decks that exist. I mean, if you think about Iron Man and the way that deck likes to play, you're trying to set up the armor and then just smash face, which it generally does. I find pretty much if Iron Man has his armor on, the game is basically over at that point. Then you also have similar things with like Black Panther, where it's you just want to get the armor built and then you're just getting the Wakanda Forevers whenever you can, and just again doing the same thing that Iron Man does. And then you have something like a Miss Marvel deck, which I find that deck is more about cycling and drawing and getting to use your events and things like that. It's not about the hero's attacks, but actually utilizing the other events that come along with the hero, which is really interesting. And I think that's why I like Miss Marvel the most. And here you have Thor, who you're kind of doing a combination of attaching things and utilizing the minion side of things. So you're building this deck to go against, I think, certain other decks. Like, I think it would be interesting to see what happens with Thor when you play against a deck that doesn't have a lot of minions in it. So my usual test is to just throw down against Expert Rhino and just see how things go. I'm be trying some different things with the modular builds and making it like more than one modular build within it to make it a little more challenging. And I'm just excited to test this deck out tonight. Actually, pretty much after I finish this video, I'm going to start putting together a deck and seeing what's what. I may play this one that it comes with because it doesn't seem terrible. There's maybe a couple things I might swap out, but for the most part, I think this deck is pretty awesome. So that is all for the unboxing and a little bit of overview of the Thor Hero Pack. Hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks for tuning in, and may glory be to Asgard. Have a good one.